now. We don't have to sit and wait until the time starts. Shit.
All right, rolling.
People will come. Hold on. Let's see. Find it. So who is she again?
That's Miss CH here. She's a member of one of my groups.
Oh, okay. And is she going to participate in the conversation or?
She might use speak her voice, you know, on some things. She's one of the admins out of one of my Facebook groups.
Oh, so you had to bring backup.
I had to bring no backup to my.
Yeah, I'm here by myself, man.
Yeah, hey, look, yeah, that's my reinforcements right there. Don't let the face fool you.
Hey,
Don't let the face fool you. Hey, that's my top. That's my top.
Reinforcements to have, man.
Hey.
Because I'm just.
hey, that's my top gunner. You ever seen the dragon lady? What they call that?
That's
the lady with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah. It's a good reinforcement backup. Because I'm like, what's that? Shit.
She was the assassin. All right, so how you want to kick it off? You want me to kick it off for you?
Man, go ahead and get it started. You know, we just do an intro. You can intro, because since you're hosting it, so go ahead and do it, and I'll just start from here. What you're doing.
All right, shit. Well, I'd rather start from the timeline of what stuff started at, and start from the TDA, the whole TDA thing, accessing accounts, Federal Reserve, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
one second. Hold on. Let me hit this record, and then we can go. All right. Hold on. Sorry about this, man. I'm usually more prepared. No. So, he's on here trying to drive me crazy.
Yeah, people are coming in now.
Huh? Yeah, I'm not on yet. I'm just trying to get this thing started. Hold on. Actions. Coming from the public. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're not receiving data from non-code. All right, I should be able just to hit and go live, and it'll go. It should pick it up. It's not available. We're good. Okay. Go ahead, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we'll start from the TDA because that was the birth of a lot of different things, a lot of controversy all over the damn world, the U.S. that is. The TDA, I'll just start with my perspective of the TDA whole account access thing or whatever. Now, when I first heard about it, I was like, at first, I thought it was some bullshit when I first heard about it. I didn't think the TDA itself was some bullshit because I already had a TDA account. I thought the process was some bullshit, which it still ended up being some bullshit. But that's not to say that I didn't necessarily test the waters. I'm not saying I did or didn't, but I definitely verified that it was some bullshit based on the way people was telling them to actually access their accounts. Now I've started the procedure to access the TDA account back in 2015, and that's how long That's how long my account has been open. So when people start saying, basically when people start saying TDA account and Federal Reserve, I was getting confused, like where's the relation? Because the TDA, the Treasury Direct, and the Federal Reserve Bank is two different things. And then you have separate treasuries. You have the independent treasury, 1781. We have treasuries inside of each county, inside of the courthouses. And we have the Social Security, the treasury inside of the Social Security Administration. We have the Department of Treasury, which is the Internal Revenue Service, which many people misinterpret was being the IRS. The IRS is a separate entity. You have the IRS, and you have the Internal Revenue Service. So I was getting confused. Based on the confusion, and that's what kind of threw me off with the whole TDA thing. But that was the only thing I had a problem with as far as the process that was being spreaded across the world. And well,
there wasn't necessarily a process. It was basically just plug in your numbers and see what happens.
There was no process. And it did two things. It did two things. One positive thing it did was actually wake a lot of people up. It woke a lot of people up and had them and made people realize there are other possibilities and open people's eyes up to the worldly fraud. And that's something that we definitely needed people to open their eyes to. But the problem with that is because the process that was being exposed and shared was no process. Once people realized that didn't work, the people no longer respected the process.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, so now because you know what I'm saying? It's like if we went to school and we started first grade and we went to school our first day and the first day of class we worried about walking across stage on for 10th grade or for high school graduation without taking the courses in order to graduate and get the diploma, without reading any books. We just go in there and take the test. You might as well go in there and take the test. And matter of fact, it's an answer sheet with the test. We don't got to do studying. We don't got to do shit. It's all there for us. People misinterpret
that. We had a fast track. It's 2017. The whole fact that the accounts existed and they were set up with the ability in order for the named on the account to process ACH transactions, whether they were authorized or not, whether they had gone through whatever process they need to go through to supposedly access it, under their authority to access it. The fact that it was all set up and people could, process those transactions was good enough. You don't really need to go to school to learn how to work a bank account, and you don't really need to process or submit any more paperwork than was already created to used to create the fraudulent ass account. They created the account fraudulently without people's knowledge, and the people found out and started using it. And yeah, the reversals were just their response. It wasn't the things were not being reversed because the accounts couldn't allow it. They weren't being reversed because those at the Fed couldn't allow it. They were being reversed because it was the only reaction they had to the fact that the word was getting out and people were hitting their accounts, and I'm sure they were dealing with volumes they had never seen before. And it was hurting them for a minute. But then YouTube basically killed the one video that was going viral. They killed it, and that kind of took the wind out of the sails, coupled with the reversals and people not knowing how to deal with it. It's like you deal with a reversal just like you deal with a return payment. It's like, okay, well, if you didn't have the money to pay the bill and you tried to pay the bill using your Federal Reserve account, then you were trying it at a time when you probably shouldn't have been trying it. If your shit's going to be shut off, because I have people saying, oh yeah, you're being, you're responsible for people shit being shut off and people losing their homes and people losing their cars. I'm like, well, the information has only been available for 3 months. So if they're losing their homes or they're losing their car, then they was already, kind of behind, right?
Absolutely. Now, just like you said, nobody has to go to school and get any type of special education to have a bank account and operate a bank account. But they do have to have one major aspect that people didn't have is a general understanding of how the banking works. So in certain transactions. Now the ACH payment processing payment method is a fairly new processing method, and the Fed wire. The automatic clearinghouse is what the ACH is, and it was mainly a system developed for the banks, so they can automatically credit an account and recoup the money back. You know what I'm saying? Within a certain, basically, I can give if you pay me today. If you pay me today for your car, you pay me $500. Your car note is $500. You process ACH payment. I'm gonna give you a receipt that says we have received your payment and we are gonna begin the process of processing your payment. That doesn't mean that the payment we have received payment yet. We received
Yeah.
You gave us authorization to process the payment. Now, through those, now it might take usually 2 to 3 business days to process. Huh?
3 to 5 business days, yeah, to process. But the only reason why anything was reversed was because there were people that were at the Fed. They were manually reversing whatever was purchased or whatever what made, because there were some people had. I know a lot of people that had they settled they got their pink slips for their car. They house poured off their back. So the reversals were hit and miss. It wasn't like every transaction was reversed. If every transaction was reversed, then the argument saying, well, they did not go through the proper process in order to access the account would make sense. But the fact that a number of people were able to process transactions successfully, so it being hit or miss really doesn't give much strength to the argument of you have to have this process, because people were getting shit done without it. What's up, family? Yeah, with the brother Hailrazor here. I'm sorry that I don't have my Google Hangout set up yet, but but yeah. So Jeremy, hey Priscilla, did we have a call, an incoming call or something? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. What happened? It looked like his shit froze up. Oh, wait, there he is. What happened? Did I lose you? Brother, can you hear me? Good. Everyone's good. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Hailrazor? Like, as far as have you filed UCC one yet, brother? Can he hear me?
Shit.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you just realized now something ain't right. Says, oh,
I'm sorry that.
It's all right.
Necessarily test the water. When they take the test, you might feel go and take the test. And matter of fact, it's an answer sheet with the test.
There's some cutie on the call now. His distraction. How can you be tired? I mean, I haven't had a reversal for a long time because I haven't tried to really add any, do anything with it. Let's see, what was the tried to process through there. Let's see, what was it? Can't remember. It was about a month ago I tried to process something there, but you don't. The Midnight Challenge, you don't stop reversals, man. Reversals are going to happen, and I'm sure that they have it automated now, so that they probably automated the process in order to reverse. It's probably no longer a manual process. That's all they needed was time to get some developers in there to create, to modify the code to transactions differently. That's all it took, and they got the time they needed when they deleted the channel, deleted the video, and stalled any growth. Looks like our brother Hailrazor is having some technical difficulties here. How did court go? What's today? I might get a failure to appear. Yeah. Okay. So from what I have gathered, does he have? Yeah, Jermaine. That's what I'm trying to get to. That it's like I wanted to try and get a understanding of where he is as far as paperwork because he says he's still working on freedom. So oh, he just left the call. Damn. And who is this? Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here. So, are we on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
It said okay. It says we're live because I couldn't be on Google Hangouts and YouTube at the same time for some reason. I don't know
Mm,
what's going on.
it's discrimination.
Everything's acting weird tonight. I don't know. There's so many technical difficulties going on. My phone did an update. It's just like, oh my goodness. But
Yeah.
I guess we can continue like where you guys left off, so you're not just like sitting here talking to
Yeah.
yourself. He's
Yeah.
probably gonna jump on. He's
Yeah, I
probably
had
gonna
a
jump on.
couple, just a couple questions because what we were supposed to be talking about was what's UCC and why people or why he that people should play the contract game. Go and start doing all this paperwork and jumping through these hoops for this fraudulent ass government in order to basically gain access to the lower level account, which is the TDA. The TDA is through the Treasury, which is basically a bank. And the Federal Reserve is actually, I believe, the primary account. It's the master account. Would why go through all this bullshit, jump through these hoops with these fraudulent, fake ass, crooked ass, where even if you do file everything properly, to not play fair, they can decide to not honor whatever process you believe you're following, and just play it off like it's like you're crazy. So what do you guys have as far as what benefits there are from filing UCC ones or going through the commerce and thing?
Um, I think there's a lot of benefits, and me personally, I haven't filed yet, but I'm about to, like within the
Don't
next
file,
2 weeks.
don't file.
Well, I haven't filed so far just because, I think people should just know what their goal is,
Hmm.
for their situation and not just try to do something just because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
It might not be for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good answer because I've been at this for over like a year now, and the first thing I heard when I come do UCC one yet, UCC one. It's like I'm gonna go through the authentication process and perfect the ownership of my certificate, and since that's a very not it's not too intense of a documentation process, that get that done, and then I'll look into UCC. But I mean, the UCC one is nothing more than filing a lien, and it's that really no documented path for someone who has stumbled upon the to uh, to access their account. There's really no method, no right way to do it. Should I answer this? Am I hosting the call now?
Well, I have a question. So, like,
He's
you,
trying.
what is like the definition of a UCC one for you then, since you think, um, there's different ways to file it?
Well, the
Like,
UCC
what do
one,
you think the benefit would be?
I don't see there being any benefit to filing a UCC one is at a UCC office. It's there from what I understand. Once you sign, into that register, that's basically signing into their false religion, which is UCC. It's putting yourself in commerce. The UCC one is putting a lien on the collateral. I mean, you're putting a lien against whatever was created based on the collateral, which is you. So you're putting yourself, as far as I see it, you're to this commerce, this religious commerce where you want to everything is bullshit. You know, it's all paper. So that I don't bargain with an entity or having to go through additional steps or paper processes in order to perform action